What is urban agriculture? Urban agriculture usually refers to growing or raising food in a city. Urban agriculture is also an umbrella term that can mask the difference between very different types of farming that grow from very different roots. Urban agriculture is increasingly represented as a new trend through which fashionable, mostly young, mostly white farmers are transforming urban landscapes, or a pioneering effort led by architects, entrepreneurs, and urban planners designing shiny new cities for the future. Efforts like the East New York Farms Project in Brooklyn, New York represent a different kind of urban agriculture.
In 1995, a group of local organizations and university partners initiated a series of community opinion forums in East New York to talk with residents about what needs and assets they saw in their community. By that time, East New York already had more community gardens than any other neighborhood in New York City. So, how did that happen?
Starting in 1938, government agencies and banks colluded to effectively cut off investment to specific neighborhoods across the country, which they deemed to be risky. The practice was later called redlining. The basis for these classifications was largely racial bias and xenophobia. Meanwhile, suburban development and the GI Bill created an opportunity for many working class families to become homeowners. But restrictive covenants, threats, and violence towards non-white families ensured that this opportunity was only open to Caucasians. This combination created another opportunity for real estate interests to exploit these conditions. They engaged in a practice called blockbusting, stoking fear into white homeowners to encourage them to sell their homes in redline neighborhoods at low prices, and then selling or renting these properties at inflated prices to non-white families who had few other options. As white residents and some wealthier people of color left East New York faster than new migrants arrived, East New York became littered with vacant properties, many of which were eventually knocked down or burned down.
One of the many ways people fought back was to garden. Using their own hands and their agricultural knowledge, they turned vacant lots throughout East New York into over 60 vibrant gardens. These are among several hundred community gardens in New York City today. These gardens are heavily concentrated in areas that were redlined. The gardens that developed in this way are certainly examples of urban sustainability and supportive of healthy eating. But they also represent a form of protest and a triumph by communities that refuse to be destroyed.
There are other kinds of urban agriculture projects springing up all over the country that demonstrate things like environmental sustainability, green architecture, innovative farming techniques, entrepreneurship. But this kind of urban agriculture also demonstrates the strength of the human spirit. This is the history that drives East New York Farms.
East New York has come from a mighty long way, and I hope that everybody that comes to East New York see what we have, where we came from, and where we are today. We are really doing a wonderful job.